Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome to today's session of On Air with Boss. Our guest for today is Syeda Yumna Hasany. Yumna is a seasoned development practitioner with over 13 years of experience in program development, humanitarian response, and strategic communications. She currently heads the Program Development Unit at Community World Service Asia, leading partnership cultivation, fundraising, and program design in climate action, gender equity, education, and health across Pakistan and Afghanistan. A certified sphere trainer, Yumna has strengthened local NGO capacity in humanitarian standards and played a central role in shaping CWSA's climate change policy and vision. Beyond organizational leadership, she mentors over 600 young women and entrepreneurs as country lead for Girls Pakistan and has produced and hosted 600 plus radio shows on FM 101 focused on social and literary discourse. An alumna of Beaconhouse Margala campus, Islamabad, Yumna holds a master's in public policy and governance from the Australian National University as an Australia Award Scholar and is a US Department of State Legislative Fellow. She continues to champion inclusive development, localization, and women's leadership in Pakistan's humanitarian sector. Yumna, can you walk us through your journey at Beaconhouse?
I was in Beaconhouse since pre-nursery, and then I did my O-levels and graduated in the year 2000. So, my first memory of my school, it was in Nazimuddin Road. And we were there pre-nursery, KG, perhaps class 1 or 2 was there. I think I had a very happy childhood, and of course when you spend a lot of time in school, you have to give credit to your school, the environment and the teachers as well.
Yumna, can you tell us about your fondest memory from that campus?
I think one of my fondest memories is actually being in class 1 and preparing for the annual day, and we had our music teacher who had come in and he had taught us Kathak and we danced, and it was very classical music. So another fondest memory of mine is when I was in class 2 and we had a poetry recitation competition. I think I came second or third. But why I remember it is because I think my teachers really encouraged me to participate. And I have to give credit to the school because there were lots of opportunities, not just to excel in academics, but to participate in different extracurricular activities.
So would you like to use this platform to give a shout out to any of your teachers?
I would love to. Ma'am Hafza, who was my maths teacher, she taught us science and maths and later became the headmistress for BMI Campus North. Sadly, Ma'am Hafza has passed away. But, she'll always be remembered as a very kind teacher. And Ma'am Ali, she was the headmistress. And then Ma'am Sabrina Khalid, again from my pre-nursery days. Ma'am Shaukat, who was an Islamia teacher. Very strict, by the way.
Okay.
And, if you've studied from her, you would know who I'm talking about.
Yumna, do you remember any naughty incident from school life?
Well, I was the prefect and I was a very serious student. So no one would think that I am the master planner of devious mischiefs.
Okay.
But interestingly, I do remember two things. So there was 14th Feb, which was on a school day. So we got these random cards. And then we just put names of girls and then we signed it off from random boys' names. We just made those names. And then we put those cards in people's desks. We did this during the lunch break when most of the rooms would be empty. And when we came back, the girls, they opened their desks and they were like, "Ye kya hai?" And some were like petrified, "Ye kaun hai?" Some were very happy and they were, secretly very pleased. And then another time I remember, either it was my friend who came up with this, but it was our class, I have to admit. We took like a Vaseline bottle and then we actually smeared the railing with Vaseline. So anyone who touches would get their hands very sticky.
Oh my God. So you were like the secret prankster of your class.
I think a little credit goes to me as well. I remember एक पानी की टंकी होती थी and we would sit on the पानी की टंकी, वो concrete की बनी हुई थी, and lunch time हम सारे गाने गाते थे.
Okay.
And we were a very confident, extroverted class. So we would just go and make a lot of noise only in lunch break. But yeah, good memories overall.
So do you remember the song?
I think उस वक्त जैसे कोको कोरिना and Junaid Jamshed and Vital Signs, things like that. I think they were popular.
Yumna, are you in touch with any of your school friends?
So we are now like a group of 10 who I'm very close to, and we're on a WhatsApp group. Sadly, many of them are not in Pakistan. So only 3 of us are in Pakistan. The rest of us are in different parts of the world.
Yumna, what kind of student were you?
I think I was an all-rounder. I was studious. I guess some people call me a nerd as well, which I would accept, and it was like a badge of honor because we had a very competitive class.
Are you still competitive?
I like to think, yes, I'm competitive and ambitious, yes.
And do you think competition is healthy?
I think it is, yes. It does. You do need that dose of competition to spur you on.
Yumna, were you part of any clubs in school?
I was in poetry, I was in debates, I was playing cricket, I was hosting and moderating the sessions. आपको पता है ना जो annual day होता है,
yes.
They need someone to welcome everyone, they need someone to moderate, they need someone to read the names of children who are getting certificates. So I was doing all that.
Wow. So mashallah, you were like an all-rounder in the school.
Yeah.
Yumna, what's one non-academic learning that you would associate with Beaconhouse?
I think my love for public speaking, definitely the foundations were laid in the school. I think if you put me on stage in front of a mic, I shine. So that was my happy place.
So somehow, if you came across a genie and he could grant you 3 wishes, what would you wish for and why?
I would love to travel in the future and in the past as well. So yeah, time travel would be good. Maybe being invisible.
Okay.
That would be interesting as well. Ability to just, snap my fingers and be in another country.
Who was the unsung hero from your life?
Maybe I'm the hero of my life.
Oh, that's nice.
When people say who do they need to thank for who they are, of course, you thank your teachers, you thank your parents. But I also think that you should thank yourself because it is your ambition and your hard work.
Yumna, what does mentorship mean to you?
I think it's very important, and it's not something that I realized in school because when you're in school, you don't look for mentors. You look for your guidance comes from teachers and parents who sort of take important decisions for you. But I think as a professional, and now the stage of my career and the age that I'm in, I think it's very important to have mentors. Find a mentor, one who is from your industry, and find a mentor who's not from your industry. So you get to hear both sides. Because sometimes we tend to put ourselves in a box. We tend to limit ourselves in the field that we're in, which is understandable. But I think it's also interesting to hear another person's perspective who could be from a totally different field.
How do you think mentorship has evolved with the passage of time?
Initially, when we think about mentorship, we talk about having that one-on-one connection, which I think still is important. And I always say, mentor is not your therapist or your mother or your elder sister or brother.
True.
A mentor sometimes can wear that hat, but their job sort of is to guide you, and it's up to the mentee to receive, to accept, or to agree and disagree. How mentorship has changed, I think on both sides, the mentors and mentees, is much more awareness. I think there is intentional mentorship. So, we're in the moment, we're present. We also, as mentors, think about that what do the mentees or the person in front of us, what do they want? So I think as mentors, what we've done is we're more conscious of our audience. I think digital media and this Zoom and all those platforms has also made it easier. I don't need to be physically present. I could definitely, give you a call or use Zoom, do that online mentoring, which I think is great.
Yumna, what's your take on networking?
The rules of the game have changed. The rules of networking have also changed. We're all a brand, so you have to put yourself out there. Which is perfectly fine. Whether I agree or disagree with it, that's not the issue because now this is the need of the hour. So networking is very important. And so, even with mentorship, the networking element comes in. And networking means, reaching out to your peers, reaching out to industry experts. You need to network. Perhaps if you want to get a scholarship, you find out, who in the network has gone to which country, how did they apply. If you want to get a job or an internship. So I think mentors and networking are very important.
So they both go hand in hand.
They both go hand in hand.
Yumna, what's one myth about your profession that you would like to debunk?
So I wear many hats, and my current hat, if you ask me what I do, I work in the humanitarian sector and the development sector. When we think about accountability, we the myth is that we're only accountable to our donors or funding partners because they're giving us the money or the resources. But the actual accountability, or when you study the philosophy or how it's practiced today, is that we are accountable to the communities first. So it is at the heart are the people that we are helping, or the people who we are trying to build or empower. We need to have people-centric approaches, and we are accountable to people, and people should not hesitate to ask us that, why are you giving this aid? What is its purpose? Where is it coming from? How are you going to use our information? So that accountability, generally, our accountability is where it's like top down, or we look up towards accountability.
True.
But, it has to, that the heart, it is the people.
Yumna, what message do you have for the current students of Beaconhouse?
You don't need to put your nose into books all the time. You need to get to know yourself, which means you need to do something sporty, something creative, something related to dramatics. If you want to become an entrepreneur, great. So give yourself a chance while you're in school to experiment, and you don't need to just go by the book. You can just break those rules as well. And when I say break the rules, I'm talking about the box of personality that we have made for ourselves. Critical thinking, that's important, to have that ability to differentiate on what is right, what is wrong, what is misinformation, what are the facts. The younger generation are very smart, very tech savvy. But then I also say that, all your answers, they are not on Instagram, they're not on ChatGPT. AI can give you the answers, but you have to live your life. You have to experience life. And that's also important.
Thank you so much, Yumna, for joining us on today's session of On Air with Boss. The conversation was truly insightful and very enriching. And I hope and pray that everyone who's watching the session, they learn from your words of wisdom.
Thank you so much.
Beaconhouse Old Student Society, BOSS, building a community together.